Yeah, our next one, San Francisco 49ers taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wayne, why don't you start this one?
I mean, the big question, in my opinion, is Deebo Samuels. It looks like he's practicing, which I think is a good sign. Possibly no Trent Williams. I think he hasn't been practicing, but Deebo, they haven't. The 49ers haven't won a game with them there like fully healthy for an entire game there. So they're on a 3-game losing streak. Jaguars on I think it was I think they're on a 5-game winning streak here too. So it's like one team going down a little bit, but they just looks like they're going to be getting their star wide out here / running back, wherever we want to categorize them as. And then you got the Jaguars at home, kind of humming along. That being said, Doug Peterson is 2-5 after the bye, so I don't know what it is. He just like takes a vacation on the bye or something, just like, hey, we're just gonna chill and relax here. So I'm gonna say 49ers getting back to duty over here on the road. I think they're 3-point favorites. That's a tough one. I'm not sure I'd take that, but they got Chase Young at the trade deadline there. We'll see what they can do with them. Obviously, probably isn't going to do too much, I think, this time around. But yeah, a lot of these teams, I think the run will be a factor. McCaffrey, going against the Jaguars' top run defense there. I think it'll be a close game. So, but yeah, I just have a feeling that Deebo and having him back in the offense there, I think that'll make a difference here.
Yeah, you definitely made some great points. I think Deebo's definitely a huge factor in this game. If he plays, this whole 49ers offense changes. Obviously, have they won a game since he's been gone? I don't think so, from what I remember. So, I mean, they've obviously struggled without him. So, if he's back, I definitely think it changes this offense. I think it, if anything, gives them kind of like that confidence, I guess. We've got him back on our team. So, I think if he's back, I also think there's also like kind of that underlying feeling that they really need to win this game, or else they're gonna really start to slip. They started off really hot. They went 5-0 and they've lost 3 straight. They kind of really need to win this game, especially against this Jags team, who I think isn't really being talked about enough. They're a very sneaky good team. They've shown some really good things on both sides of the ball. What's impressed me about this team is, again, their defense, how many turnovers they've been able to get on that side of the ball. Travis Etienne's been able to find the end zone time and time again. So I think this team's very sneaky good, and it's, like you said, I think it's going to be a really close game. I think the Jags have proved themselves, but I also think, if the Jags win this, they prove themselves even more. I'm going to have to give it to the Niners. I just think they need it more than the Jags. And I think they'll figure out a way to do it, but it's going to be close. I would not take the spread. That would scare me. So
this is another clean sweep for me. I feel like I'm going Niners as well. Jaguars are like my darling team. Like, I really like the Jaguars. I like Aluakone on defense. I think their offense is definitely, clicked into gear this year, especially the ETN. Lawrence taking another step at Q. Glad they got Christian Kirk back involved, and it's interesting to see what they're going to do with Ridley. It feels like he's been a little underwhelming game to game throughout the year. So I just feel like they have the ability to spread it around. I mean, they have like Jamal Agnew and Zay Jones as well, kind of getting work as well. So I feel like they've got a really balanced attack on offense. Like you guys are saying, the Niners, they set the bar really high for this year. I mean, they're on a mission to win a Super Bowl. This isn't, them, trying to establish themselves or get back into the playoffs or anything like that. And his team just can't continue to lose like this. Like, that just, it won't make a lot of sense to me. And, Jacksonville, in my opinion's overperformed so far to start the year. I mean, they can lose a game here and not, go into, stress mode or anything like that. Like, they are probably feeling pretty comfortable at 6-2, and probably won't have that same, burning drive. Like, of course, every team wants to win every Sunday, but I feel like just the, the psychology of the game here is definitely going to be on, San Fran's side. Love the Chase Young addition to that defense. Like, it's already pretty smothering on the line with, guys like Armstead, Hargrave, Bosa. mean, just never, it never ends. And to add another guy into that fire, into that mix with high quality coaching, and then also just great teammates, like that guy's going to find a lot of holes. And it's going to be a nightmare, I think, for most quarterbacks here going forward against the Niners. Yeah, Deebo in, Deebo out. I think San Fran's going to pull it together, and maybe a close one, but I think they pull it off.
Yeah, I mean that Chase Young addition, that'll be interesting to watch what happens in that defense. Obviously, it's like, it's early, but he's an edge rusher. It's like, just get to the quarterback and we can figure out run defense schemes and stuff like that. So and it's undescribable, I think, his talent, like, him pairing up with Bosa, both Ohio State people, right, too, as well, and edge rushers, highly touted in the draft. And then the 49ers, just a world-class organization as well. I know, like, the Commanders, like, they're starting a new regime and everything, but it's really early. So often, I think I was just listening to Jason Williams. He was on a podcast and talking about, in basketball, right? He was talking about how, the Heat culture when he was playing for the Heat was a world of difference compared to, the Orlando Magic and how they treat players and things like that. And it seems like that's kind of what the 49ers are all about, hence their winning culture. So culture can definitely be a game changer, I think, for Chase Young going forth. And it'll be interesting to see kind of what happens there with all the talent that they already have.
Yeah, I think it's also interesting too, because it's like iron sharpens iron. I think bringing in a guy like Chase Young, teams are now, they can't double team one person. They can't double team Nick Bosa. I mean, Nick Bosa has a quote unquote down year with 3 sacks. So, I mean, and I say quote unquote because I know he's still getting to the quarterback. I know he's still putting pressure on him. So for them to not, I mean, teams are like, you can't double team one of them. Like, somebody's getting to the quarterback on that defensive line, which is extremely scary for teams. Putting pressure on any quarterback, they start to make bad decisions. They start to turn the ball over. And when you have guys like Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk and hopefully Deebo, that's not an offense you want to give the ball to. And I also like what you said about culture. I think definitely bringing Chase Young into what I would call a winning culture. Kyle Shanahan has really brought this really cool mindset. Every year we're talking about them as contenders. And so it'll be cool to see how he responds to that kind of culture change, for sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Perfect.